Welcome to the Agent Lead Source Podcast episode. What episode is it, Joseph?
52, man.
52.
52. That's
Bam. Where's
crazy.
the confetti? I think we probably need to we need to edit that and digitally make it from visual to an audio, but I digress. Episode 52. It's been a year.
Yeah,
It's been a
one whole
year.
year.
Technically, it's been a little bit longer, but documented proof. We're showing you the receipts. This is episode 52. How does it feel? What's,
Well, let me give you some
what's it like?
perspective on what a year of doing podcasting is. That's half a year of my oldest son's life. My second son, I've had another son since we've been podcasting, who's 6 months old. So
Oh,
if you think about that, like cumulative time, that's a lot of time. Like I've had a child since we started podcasting.
yo, and I have not. So,
Yeah, and you have not.
so from
I've
that
had
standpoint, I have to go through another. Thanks, Joseph.
you gotta go through another year
I guess our
podcast.
podcast ends in a year. It was a good run. the That's very true. You know, a lot of life events happen, and
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. There's always that growth, that development, some that we're talking about quite a bit,
yeah,
but framing it a different way as well. Just thinking about the amount of time that we've spent with our audience.
yeah.
We did some math on that. That's 52 hours. That's over 2 days. Think about
Jeez.
it. Our podcast on average are about an hour. Now the last 2, 3 episodes, they're a little bit since we went to a new format, they're a little bit smaller, if you will, but on
Yeah,
average, they've been about an hour. And you and I, we do the show prep for this. We do the show recap for this. We should probably make that an extended cut. I think that we share a lot of valuable with each other in terms of
yeah,
businesses.
yeah,
But anyway, if you add another hour to that, and that's underselling it by a bit because we've already been on for an hour and a half before we
yeah,
hit play or record. So you factor that in, it's over 100 hours. You're looking at 4 days of this. I think that's dope. I honestly did not. I thought it was going to be less of a time commitment. I'll be honest with you,
yeah.
but it really doesn't feel that. It really doesn't feel like an additional thing for me. It feels more like I'm coming here getting some business coaching. I'm getting some life coaching. I like it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's something to be said about being able to, everybody calls it masterminding, right? Like whenever you get on the call or whatever, that's the buzzword for the last several years.
Yeah.
But it's more than that, right? Like the relationship that you build with the person that you're having a podcast with your audience, and people get to know you, and you get to know who they are, and you get um, to create more for people in their life. And so for you and I, this 4 days plus of spending time together is even way more than that, because we enjoy the conversation and the camaraderie so much that uh, it's way more time than that, but we don't even think about it. Like I personally, like whenever we were on a call, I'm like, oh shoot, an hour and a half. We're supposed to start the podcast an hour ago, right? And
Yeah.
so it's definitely a blessing to be able to have that type of communication with somebody, and also be able to share it with people that get to listen to our podcast or watch it or hear on YouTube.
100%, 100%. And really it goes into, we're by the way, the episode is 52. We already mentioned that, but our topic is free buyer leads,
Yeah,
right? And we're going to go into so many different dimensions. But the reason that I want to spend some time here is with the podcast and give you as much as we possibly can. We've always broken that fourth wall on why we're changing things, what we're thinking about doing, asking you questions, and really bringing you into the journey, because you can learn not from us, but through us,
yeah,
right? There's some things that we've tried that we've invested some money in and absolutely failed 100%.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was a painful process, but at the end of the day, when we share that with you, and you may have thought about podcasting, you may have thought about certain strategy, you may have thought about video marketing, you may have thought of X, Y, and Z. So you're learning through osmosis. So the reason that we're spending some time together here is because Joseph and I, um, we have not physically met, right? This has
yeah,
all been online.
yeah.
So I
I don't even
kind
know
of
how
want,
tall you are.
what's that?
I have no idea how tall you are. I don't know anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be our last year. It's gonna be our last year doing this. So what people don't know is that Joseph is most people do know that actually, that you're a Division I athlete in you were a safety cornerback.
Yeah, I was a running back when I went to Naval Academy, and then when I transferred to the University of Houston, I moved over to safety. Yeah.
So you can imagine the physical, like if you were to meet Joseph in a conference, pretty intimidating dude. Not, I mean, he's awesome, he's cool and stuff, but if you're gonna, when we do finally meet and we do either put on summits, conferences, or whatever we end up doing together, or just meeting in life, I'm not looking forward to the picture. I'll just say that. I'm 5'8". It's just I'm just not looking forward to the picture.
You're not that much shorter than I am. I'm 5'11", so it's not like I'm 6'2" or 6'3". I just have a different. Also here. Okay, so since we're on this, we'll get to the buyer leads in a minute, everybody. This is episode 52. We're gonna do what the hell.
Yeah, let us give us our moment, guys. You're getting the behind the scenes.
Yeah, but when I was younger, I used to go to Six Flags, which was Astroworld. Whenever I was younger, which is no longer here anymore, just like Astrodome, right? Those things are gone. Houston, Texas. Those of you who don't know, I used to love going to that place because they always had a guess your weight person. And they typically could tell what your weight was, but I'm a very dense human being, like very dense bone density. And they would always be off by like 30 pounds.
Holy moly.
So, yeah. So when people meet me, yeah, my shoulders are wide and all that stuff, but my weight is never what anybody guesses. Right. Now, whenever I got fat, whenever I used to weigh like 40 pounds more than I weigh right now, people could feel like, you're fat.
No, I swear, my bones are dense.
It's my bones, man.
It's my bone weight.
I haven't lost my baby fat. Oh man, but yeah, no, awesome. It's it'll be fun when we start doing these in-person conferences and stuff down the road.
Heck yeah! And the reason that there's again, we're celebrating a little bit, so get off our backs. But more importantly than that is really illustrating. Not that we have the picture perfect friendship. Joseph and I have disagreements and we dialogue through them, right? Just like any friendship. But really what we're trying to illustrate is everyone, I don't know why, it's just a talking point. I shouldn't say everyone. That's a talking point, right? I'm saying everybody. A lot of individuals when like, I don't want to get on social media. Everybody's fake. Everybody's blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, you do that all day long. You can say that all day long and let somebody else, let that new, I don't want to say that young kid or whatever that gets on TikTok and just absolutely blows up and taking all of your business. You could be that agent. You can absolutely be that agent because that's happening every single day. So you can fight it or you can go and listen to the podcast, give us a 5-star review and learn how to generate conversations, generate friendships, generate it all. This happened through a DM.
Yeah.
That was it. And then this started formulating. So why can you not do the same thing many times over?
Yeah.
From generating buyers, generating sellers. And we're going to give you the exact post to make. We're going to give you the exact strategy that we're using, not only for ourselves in terms of some of the referrals that we do in our network, but also the agents that we work with. So well, let's get into some strategy, and then we'll get into some our little giveaway for the 1-year celebration because I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So free buyer leads. One of the biggest things that you can do for your business right now is we're going to mostly focus on Facebook for now, but understand that the system that we're sharing with you, it can work with Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, any other platform that comes along if you know how to weaponize it correctly. So basically, it's about providing an opportunity for somebody else to have a conversation with you. So one of my favorite posts that I actually learned from Joseph was making a post on Facebook. Again, I'm going to replace Facebook with social media. We're trying to be, with this new format, we're trying to be specific. So with Facebook, making a post so what would you say? So discreet that no one's gonna blink an eye.
Yeah.
What year did you buy your first home in? So what year did you buy your first home? Is effectively the post. Now you may be thinking, well, what the heck does that have to do with anything? What has absolutely everything to do with it? Because when you make that post, people that went to high school with you, people that worked with you, people that went to college with you, people that you just friended on Facebook because you just did. I mean, no idea. You don't know this individual. They were either trying to sell you insurance or sell you real estate before you got into real estate. Whatever the case may be, they're going to start commenting. And when they're commenting, well, that's going to let you know several things. Some of them are going to give you a year, 2007, 2017, 2000, whatever. Well, now you know who are homeowners. But then you're going to also see those individuals are going to say, I'm wanting to buy next year. My year is 2023. My year is 2025. Whatever it happens to be, now you have buyers. So although our topic is free buyer leads, you're getting seller leads as well. So hopefully that deserves a 5-star review. But that's one of the first ways that you can start creating conversations and start generating some leads.
Yeah, no, I love that strategy so much. And I think it's very underrated as a strategy because one, it's people that know, like, and trust you, right? And so now they're giving you their information and letting you know who they are. And you know that they're going to be buying at some point. Not only that, as Jaime said, because they're going to be selling as well, you might double end a deal. And those of you who are watching / listening, that is definitely worth a 5-star review because you won't have a lot of these people in your database already. You'll be like, oh, they know me. I'm a real estate agent. They're just going to use me. They're probably not going to use you if they don't see or hear from you very often, right? Oh, here comes Joe again wanting to tell me about real estate because, it's 5 years since we talked and now, they might think I'm ready to sell my house. So you need to make sure that you're actively in contact with them, engaging with them, making sure you're saying, hey, I'm updating my database, whatever, when's your birthday, when your kids' birthdays. But doing the strategy is going to let you identify buyers and sellers, right, from that. Taking it a step further, Jaime, you can also make a similar post that says, how many of my friends are homeowners one day or 1 week, and then the next week say how many of my friends are are renters that would like to be homeowners, right? And so now you're delineating, if you will, going two different directions and identifying true home buyers or wanting to buy, and you're also talking to people who are homeowners, and so now you're separating your friends list. So future home buyers and another set of future home buyers. Another question to ask is how many of my friends rent apartments versus how many of my friends rent homes, right? And so again, we're just taking this to different levels because now you have apartment renters that probably hate renting their apartment that might be interested in renting a home, which then puts them a step closer to buying a home. And then you can talk to them about, if you're a real estate agent, you should know these things, but I'll say it anyway. Then you can take it to the level of, what's your credit score? What does that look like? Would it be cheaper to own a home? Would it be smarter to own a home? All these things, right? So anyway, that's why I love that strategy because you can take it like in a million different directions to identify who people are on your Facebook page without them divulging too much information about themselves, right? Which is interesting because everybody says your home is the most precious, most expensive thing you're ever going to buy or sell, but people give us that information all the time, right? And it's like, and they're worried about, anyway, I'm not going to go into a whole nother conversation. Anyhow, moving forward, the other strategy that I really like and still around Facebook, but you can, as Jaime said, you can, supplement this in any social media platform that you want to. You can actually make a full YouTube video about that specifically, right? But is using Facebook groups. So I was in a group, Facebook group, a real estate agent Facebook group, and I think I asked something, I can't remember what the question was, but essentially somebody had made a comment about moving to a new market, which I see that all the time. Agents are moving to new markets all the time because either a spouse got a new job somewhere or because they're in the military and they're moving all the time, several different reasons. And so her comment was, man, that was the question. How many houses have you sold, right? So I'm using our own marketing tactics and for our business, on agents that don't know that I'm using it on them, and then giving them the same tactic in another way. So anyhow, she comes back and she says, well, I haven't sold X amount of houses because I'm in a new market and I just don't have an SOI. And so my brain goes back to whenever we first started our marketing program several years ago, 6-7 years ago, I guess now. And I said, here's what you do. Go into that Facebook, actually go to all the Facebook groups in your new market. Join all the ones you can. Garage sale, whatever city, whatever garage sale, buy, sell, trade. I think there are several different types of garage sale, buy, sell, trade, exchange, whatever. Go into all those groups, join them, get accepted. And then within 24 hours of getting accepted, what I want you to do is I want you to make one post in every one of these groups. Now you have to be careful. You want to make sure you space it out, wait a couple days, maybe post in 3, and then the next day post 3 more. But all you do is you go in and you ask one question. How many people in this group are small business owners? Post your business down below so we can support you. And so what you've just done there is you've allowed people, you don't even know the owner of the Facebook group. You don't know any people in this group. You have 0 SOI. And all these people are going to comment that they're business owners. And so the interesting part about this is most business owners are probably homeowners, right? Because they're going to have some type of money before they start a business. Some of them will be renters. But again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify home buyers. And if they're home owners, that means they're going to be buying at some point. You go in, you comment, thanks so much for commenting, really excited to meet and support you. Then you go into Messenger and say, hey, James, Sally, I'm so excited that you posted on my wall. Is there anything I can do to support you? By the way, would love to add you to my database. Can I get your name, email, phone number? I sell real estate, and anything I can do to support you would be, I would love to be able to do that for you. They're going to give you their name, email, phone number. You've done 2 things for them. You're asking for 1 thing from them, right? And now whoever their real estate agent is or was probably isn't even doing half the things that you just did within a hour or 24-hour time frame. And so now you've got this huge database. You've just built your SOI. And now you're going to start sending them newsletters, emails. One thing I told this lady to do was hold a virtual, there's a thing called BNI. And I was like, why would you pay for BNI whenever you can hold a virtual one and create it yourself? And go in and say, hey, here's what I want to do to be able to support you. Next week on Tuesday, I'm going to hold a Zoom call with everybody that's commented and I want you to give us, your 60-second pitch about your business. And then also identify who would be later on in the call, or now you can say who your best referral partner would be. And then you guys can set up your own call, own coffee time to meet. And now you just really not just scratched their back. I mean, you rubbed their back, exfoliated it. I mean, you've rubbed their feet, you've done everything for them. And everybody that's a real estate agent is not going, you don't let them join your call. That's a key. And so you've just created your SOI. And her message to me, this lady that I told, this agent that I told to do this, she was like, I just built my 30 people into my SOI in 24 hours, less than 24 hours, actually, because she did it as soon as I told her to do it. And so if she can do that, any real estate agent can do that in the world. So if you're watching this or listening to this, just know that.
If you're watching or listening to this and you haven't hit that 5-star review yet, or hit that like and subscribed and share the heck out of this, I question your character. I question you as I'm kidding. But awesome. It'd be great if you gave us a 5-star review, because that is killer. So we're dispelling in case you haven't noticed, as we were preparing for the podcast, really, we're getting ahead of your objections. Effectively is what we're doing. I don't want to get on social media. I just got into a new, I don't have anybody friended on social media. We didn't even suggest go and like or friend all of your acquaintances, friends, whatever. Sure, that makes common sense. So hopefully you have the common sense. And as you know, that if you're going to be weaponizing this for your business, I say weaponizing just for the effect. It's common sense that you go ahead and friend all of your friends, but just so that we're already taking it as a given. So we're not even asking you to do that. What Joseph laid out was, let's find some Facebook groups. Somebody else has already built a community that you can just go and tap into. Somebody has already put those fish in that pond. So you're the ones just coming with the little fishing rod, right? So that's what you're doing now. So you're using the shade of somebody that planted that tree. Trying to find different ways of saying the same thing, Joseph. I was on a roll, but
that works.
So what you're doing there is you're tapping into that group, but then you're also becoming that person that you're the connector. You're the person that puts some event that a lot of people are going to find value in. And guess what? If you have 4 people that show up that first event, who cares? That's 4 people that you didn't know before. That's 4 coffees that you didn't have to buy. That's 4 whatever that you didn't have to get into your car and only to go and find out that their brother is a real estate agent. Like, dang it. Now they're not going to use me, right? So it's a lot of creative ways that you can leverage social media. And these are all ways that did not cost you a dime. Even this information did not cost you a dime. I guarantee you, I mean, it wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't bring up a certain mafia out there that will take this information and then sell it to you for $1,000. So if you want to go pay $1,000, go and do that. Again, a question.
I've already seen it. I've seen it actually repackaged for about $3,000.
And that's that
anyway.
Pisses me off. But
very unfortunate for the agents who paid for that.
Very unfortunate for the agents that paid for that. Although, you know what's sad is that they actually are going to get, if they do it, they're going to get their money back, and they're going to think that that individual that resold our stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
Which,
if they do it though.
If they do it.
Yeah.
If they do it.
Because you got to get through 3 hours of them talking about themselves before they actually give you any information.
Exactly. You have to go through the life story of, I think we're kind of doing our next podcast already, Joseph. We titled Exposing Fake Gurus. So be on the lookout for that one, because that one's on the lineup.
Yeah.
But getting out of the rabbit trail that I was going on, or the rabbit hole, or whatever that's called. These are ways to create conversations. There's so many different examples of effectively doing the same thing that Joseph mentioned, but it involves you taking action. It involves you making posts. There's so many creative ways that you can identify renters, that you can identify homeowners. We just gave you some examples. And then Joseph went on and elaborated how you become that host. You become that connector, if you will. You become what they call that digital mayor. I think that's the Gary Vee coined phrase. What's important here that we really can't get lost on is simply saying that you're a real estate agent isn't cutting it. It never cut it, to be honest with you. But especially now with over 1.25 million real estate licenses out there in the United States alone. So if you're out there and your definition of social media posting is reach out to me if you're thinking about buying or selling, guess who's not going to be reaching out to you? People that are thinking about buying or selling. So simply putting your billboard out on social media is a great way to turn people off.
Yeah.
So by getting creative and creating conversations, creating engagement that actually brings people to you, that attracts people to you, you're going to start generating business. But even taking it one step further, or I guess one step back based off of the strategy, the core principle that you need to understand today, outside of not just saying that you're a real estate agent, is present things differently. So if you're looking for buyers as an example, well, reframe it. If you are looking for buyers, who's interested in my home buyer program? That's just that's a base level, like super, like just super, even some of you may be thinking, wow, that's amazing. I'm thinking like, nah, that's kind of lame. However, it's just that low of a bar for you to get engagement. Home buyer program. Effectively, you're just saying, who wants to buy a house? Home buyer program, people think, oh, program. Wonder what does Jaime know that I don't?
Yeah.
If you want to sweeten it up, how to save money, on closing costs, repackage it in a different way. There's a lot of different ways that you can present the information or present your really, I guess, motives, just presenting it in a different way.
Yeah. I think there's so many ways that you can present different offers to people, right? And get their attention. Because at the end of the day, it's all about, okay, get attention, attract people, follow up with them, and then convert, right? And so there are so many ways to attract people and get people's attention. One thing that I saw the other day that I thought was really neat, and I don't think enough people are doing, and I actually wrote this down for myself. They did it for one house, but essentially what they did was they're like, hey, they came on camera really quick. Hey, I'm going to show you what the average monthly cost is for an average home in our market that costs X amount of dollars. Cut. From there, they have a camera or their phone pointing down at a piece of paper or a whiteboard that's already has all the numbers on it. Okay, the house costs this much. This is the insurance. This is the PMI if you don't do 20%, and this is the taxes, and this is your total monthly cost if you decide to buy a house. If you're renting for more than this, this is how much you can have a house for right now. Right? Call me, text me. Here's my number right here in the corner. And so that strategy is so effective because they see you, they see your face, they hear your voice. And then they see the numbers. Those are factual numbers. And if you don't know how to do that, get it from a loan officer, go to Bankrate or wherever you're going to go to get those numbers from. And I thought that was really interesting and clever. But then you know how my brain works. For those of you who are watching or listening, I'm like, okay, how can we do this like 10 times? Right? Because it's effective content. Because I was like, oh, that's fascinating. Like, I didn't know that's how much a house costs in Arizona. Right? So if I saw it, and I would live in that market, I'd be like, I wonder if he or she, or it was a woman, she was a loan officer, but a real estate agent could do it too. And I was like, I wonder if she is doing that for every neighborhood. I wonder if she's doing that for every zip code. I wonder if she's doing it for every city around her. Like, I was like, that's like 30 pieces of content right there that is going to attract people to want to talk to you. Oh man, I didn't know that's how much a house costs in this neighborhood. So you could start from like the cheapest neighborhood in your market and go all the way up to the most expensive neighborhood. And you're going to find buyers in every single part of that because somebody's buying houses in that market. The question is, are they going to buy a house through you? Right. And so I want to make sure I share that piece of content with people as I was thinking through our process of attracting buyers.
Well, taking that and continuing down that talk track, we haven't even addressed the video component of this, right? So that video component, until you brought it up, we hadn't mentioned it. And we've replace social media with whatever platform you're on. But to be specific, if we migrate over to Instagram for a second, or if we migrate over to YouTube for a second, and depending on when you're listening to this, I know that Facebook already has a short form component, but it's actually Instagram being pushed through Facebook. Short form is a real thing that exposes you to a brand new audience. So whether you're doing a YouTube short, whether you're doing a TikTok, whether you're doing a Instagram reel, you can find yourself with 50 views, 1,000 views, 50,000 views. You can find yourself in that category very, very, I'm not going to say easy, but it's absolutely possible. So let's not sleep on the video component of this. And one of the challenges here is, again, we're trying to get ahead of objections because they're probably going to come up. I understand time is scarce, right? Now, what better way for you to spend an entire day getting these 30 videos, like the example that Joseph went through, getting 30 videos lined up for your next 30 days? Where else are you going to be able to spend that same, let's call it 8 hours to do all this, or 12 hours? Let's just call it a full day of you dedicated to doing this. And then you dripping that out moving forward in between appointments, in between life, in between X, Y, and Z. Well, now those 30 pieces of content, they're going to transcend your community on Facebook. They're going to transcend your followers on Instagram. They're going to transcend your followers on or subscribers on YouTube, your followers on TikTok. So those 30 pieces of content from your organic reach, people that actually know you, it's probably not going to amount more than 200 people. I'm just guessing, just on averages. But that's people that know you. If you put this content out in the platforms that we just talked about, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, if you want, you're talking about over, and this one I say pretty boldly because I'm fairly confident, you're going to be reaching over 10,000 people through those 30 pieces of content. Where else are you going to be able to spend
Or
those same day? Exactly, for free, that same day to reach over 10,000 people. It's crazy. When you think about it, it's crazy.
yeah, and all you're doing is replicating the content, right? Because anybody who's on TikTok, anybody who's on Instagram Reels, Facebook is kind of catching up. I'm really upset that they decided just to do it on business pages for shorts. That was kind of silly move on their part. But the metaverse will take care of that, I'm sure, for another conversation, topic of conversation later on. But you're literally rinsing and repeating that content. And if you look at some of the like really fast growing pieces of content, like I started doing some stuff here recently, how you maybe saw on my YouTube, just testing out things because it's all test, right? Until it works. And then it's like, that's my way I'm doing things. So it's all test until it works. And so I was testing out, this guy started doing videos on young YouTubers and TikTokers. It was like, how much does this guy make per month? And I was like, I like that strategy. And so all I'm doing is going through all these different famous YouTubers and Instagrammers and just social media people and just doing a quick video and breaking down how they're making their, or where they're making their money from and how much they make, right? Like some of them are making like $1 million a month, right? Like it's mind blowing. And so you're doing the same thing for real estate. It's like, how much does it cost to buy a house in this neighborhood? Bang, that's cut, right? And then you're creating that content. And that content can go viral so fast because people will want to know that. And if you really, really want to become like a mega person, mega agent on social media, you find out, and maybe you don't know the exact numbers, but you find out roughly what the average house price is in whatever market. You know how much insurance and all that other stuff, because you can go to Bankrate and look that up. You can do a video 365 days a year and not run out of content, because there are that many cities. There are that many cities, that many small towns throughout the US. You could start at the top 100 and work your way down, and you would never run out of content. People would be like, man, this guy knows everything about every city. You don't know crap about any city, but it seems like you know crap about every city. And so I want you guys to really think about that. And then again, bring it down to the local market if you want to start in the local market as well. But you have to think about people that are moving to different places as well. So anyway, great way to build content, but also build your reputation and with people that are in your local market that are really going to be interested in talking to you about real estate.
I mean, even when you go through all of that, as you're saying, you're never going to run out of content, but there's nobody stopping you from repeating it. There's nobody stopping you from going back to the top of the list after 3 months, or if you kept doing that, a video per day, the top 100 cities, you're going to be done in about 3 months. Well, in 3 months, nobody's going to know that you already did Chicago. Nobody's going to know that you did Dallas. Nobody's going to know any of that. So you just redo it. You could do a different format. You're going to look so different. And I see this with my YouTube videos, and you see this with your content. You look so different. You present so different. You're articulating things, presenting things different. Your communication is different. So you're evolving. So that video that you did day one compared to the 101 video that you did, it's going to be night and day. So nobody's going to care. So that's astronomical. Now, we know there's going to be some people of you, which is awesome. Thank you for being here, that want the easy button, the fast button, the fast forward button. And you're going to say, I want to launch an ad. I just don't know how. I want to grow my business, and I want to get a freaking amount of leads for $1. And that's awesome. And typically we would say, best of luck to you, right? So we'll go watch some of our content and you'll see how. However, since it is our 52nd episode, which marks the full year of doing the podcast, we're doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
And the giveaway is so simple. The time of this recording is it's a Thursday, October 28th. For you to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. If you've already given us a 5-star review, God bless you. You're a saint. Thank you. You can still enter. All you have to do is give us a 5-star review on Apple. Take a screen capture of that 5-star review and either DM Joseph or DM myself, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram. You have all of our information in the show notes. So down below, regardless of the platform that you're in, just DM us by next week. So by the November 4th, when we're going to record our 53rd episode, if you do that, you're entered to win.
Yeah.
So 5-star review, take a screen grab, send it to Joseph or myself, and then we're going to select a winner of those individuals. So it's going to be a random drawing. So depending on how many we get, we're going to find a way to do it random. It's not going to be just because you did it, you get the. I didn't say what the prize was, did I, Joseph?
So, I was wondering that as you're finishing that statement. I was going, do we say what we're giving them yet? But what
the most important part? We're going to build out your ad campaign. We're going to connect to your ads account. We're going to actually launch a campaign for you that we are launching with our other agents. We manage a lot of, I'm not going to disclose how much because that's a lot of money. A day we're managing a lot of ad spend between agents that work with Joseph and agents that work with myself. So you get the benefit of our effectively agency. We build out your campaign for you so you can hit that easy button. That's what you win.
Let me just put it in perspective to people. I think I looked at my Amex last month, and luckily I don't have a limit on it, but it was like it was giving me gray hairs looking at the numbers that are going through that. I'm like, I wish I was just paid that much from these guys instead of managing the ad spend that goes through that. But anyway, it's you're going to get some great ads that are going to help your business. So I'm really excited for those of you who do leave a 5-star review and then send a screenshot over to Jaime or myself, and then we'll get that ad set up for somebody that you'll probably like as well.
Yeah. So I butchered that giveaway. So I clearly haven't learned that much after a year. You get full ad campaign built out, 5-star review, screen grab it, send it over to us by November 4th, and you're eligible to win. We will pick a winner next time we go live. Joseph, perfect. I think as we're wrapping up and nearing the end after it's been crazy, episode 52, free buyer leads. Let's kind of go back and get an all. Let's go look back and see what was something that surprised you about doing the podcast. What's something that a lesson learned, anything about the podcast in the last year.
Yeah, I think the thing that's probably surprised is just the amount of information that we've provided to people, not just information, the value. And then the people who have taken that value and actually have done something with it and then reported back to us what they've made off of that and what it's done for their life. I think that's been the biggest, like anything I do, I hope that that's what comes out of it. Like we make somebody's life better, but like through spoken word, without people seeing us, some people have gone and done these things and report back to us. And I think that's been pretty awesome that our voices alone have allowed people to make their lives better. So that's probably the biggest revelation or shocker for me from doing podcasts with you. 52 weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's something that very similar to you. I really didn't expect, I expected for us to have traction, obviously, but just seeing the results for the people that do reach back out to us, for the agents that do give us some feedback once they implement it, has been awesome. One thing for me per se was we don't really have too many programs in which agents and us work together. I'm not saying we're exclusive, but we really aren't providing a lot of avenues for agents and us to work together that much per se, whether that's through courses, through programs, through services, whatever. We don't have that many, whether it's by choice or not. I really don't know. I hadn't really thought about that question, but what I do get, what does surprise me often is when somebody reaches out and says, how can I support you? Right? Like, how can I work with you? How can you be my mentor? How can you be my coach? How can you be? I don't have a mentor program. I don't have a coaching program from just a general agent standpoint. I have other programs, but I don't know. I just, that's pretty humbling. That's pretty humbling. Like, how can we work together? How can I support you? There's not that many ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's because we're not coming on here. We've never come on here to try to sell something to anybody. Now, you know, by proxy, if you will, just being who we are and being authentic with us and help them build their business. But that's never been the case with this. And you call us dumb or call us, whatever you want to call us. We're not trying to super profit off of this. It's trying to teach people how to make money for themselves in this industry and have fun doing it too, right?
Yeah. Folks, it has been an absolute journey. Joseph has produced a human through this year. I have not, that I'm aware of. Just kidding. Just a joke.
Phone rings.
Expect more from your favorite podcasters. Don't forget about our giveaway. And even if there wasn't a giveaway, a 5-star review is the most humbling thing that you can do for us outside of implementation, of course. So 5-star review really does help the podcast going. It's a great way to hear from you in your comment section. So if there's anything that we can do for you now or in the future, please feel free to reach out. Episode 52 is in the books. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.